How was it out there 2 years in a row?
It was cool. That's one thing I told everyone coming into the parade is, one of the coolest things of celebrating a national title is the parade. That's one thing that, you'll always remember, as part of the celebrating process.
You announced a big decision yesterday. How did you reach that decision?
Yeah, just realizing, what's the point I'm at, everything I've done, and the opportunity that's in front of me. I have a chance to, be a top 15, top 20 pick, and I feel like that, my body and me as a person, me as a player is, matured enough and grown enough to be able to try to take my game to the next level.
Who were the conversations with behind the scenes?
Yeah, it's my family, my dad, my family, and really the coaching staff.
What was that feeling like to get that news out and that decision made?
It was good. It was just the past 3 days of just walking around, and after we won and got back, it's just one more year, and it's it gets a lot. It gets to just people repeatedly telling you the same thing. So just wanted to get that off my chest and be able to now just go focus on the next goal.
2 years, 2 championships. What does that mean?
I mean, it's crazy. It's just to do something so special and be able to, leave my mark in history at a historic, program. I cherish these two years. It was very hard for me to, go up there, talk to the coaches yesterday, and talk about leaving. I didn't want to leave. It's hard. I love UConn. I love this place. So, just be able to bring, two titles back here is so special.
I imagine the coach's response was, "Hey, it's time." They try to talk you into not going.
No, I mean, Coach Shirley. Like I said, I told Coach I wanted to stay, and he said he told me I couldn't. So, I love UConn, man. Coach Shirley changed my life. This program, the staff, all the teammates I've had these past 2 years, everyone's changed my life, and turned me into the player, and has made me a better person today.
You think back to that July 4th when you made the decision to come to UConn, and there are Big Ten schools in the mix, a lot of other schools that I guess you're thinking of, but you think back on that now, but how happy are you that you decided what you decided?
Yeah, I mean, it was the best decision in my life, and like I said, these past 2 years have been special. I couldn't. If I went somewhere else, I wouldn't have 2 titles. You know what I mean? Like this place is special. Coaches developed me into a better player in person. The whole program has, and I'm so appreciative of my 2 years here, and I'm proud to say that I'm a Husky for life.
What's that feeling, Donovan, when you step behind the microphone, you're getting ready to speak, and you see the crowd in front of you?
Yeah, it was really emotional, but it's sad. I love Husky Nation. I love the fans. I love the school. I just love all the support that they've given us these past 2 years. They've given me, being from Connecticut, just to see everyone that gives me the support, and it's special to me. It means a lot to me, and I'll be forever grateful for the opportunity I had these past 2 years.